Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and this is the brand new Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart. This is a limited edition instrument and part of the whole Music Man Joe Dart series. This is the first time Sterling by Music Man has made a Joe Dart, and this is the most affordable model out of the range. Before we talk about this bass, let's just go over the entire range of the Joe Dart basses real quick. Starting with the original Joe Dart. That was a Sterling bodied bass just like this one with a single volume knob. This is essentially replicating that. We have a single humbucker in the regular Stingray position and a Music Man bridge and a Sterling neck, 22 frets, a jazz-like profile with a 38mm nut width and a 9.5-inch radius. Next up was the Joe Dart 2, which was a jazz bass style instrument that I actually reviewed. I purchased one and I ended up returning it as I was not satisfied. That bass really lacked a lot of output and it was really easy to get lost in a mix, especially with no effects. So I ended up returning that one, unfortunately. But it was a gorgeous looking instrument and it only weighed like 7.2 pounds, my particular example. It was a lightweight instrument for sure. And then we have the Joe Dart Mini, which is a short scale instrument with no knobs. Another Joe Dart bass that we reviewed. Those were limited to about, I think it was 50 instruments, and those are really hard to find right now. Those were unique also because they were down-tuned to drop C, which was very strange for a short scale instrument. However, with those custom flat wounds that those basses were rocking, that bass was really a lot of fun. And then we have the Joe Dart, is it the 3? It's a short scale P bass that has the same Joe Dart vibe. I have not looked at that one yet, I don't really plan to. But yeah, those are the Joe Dart basses from the USA Music Man lineup. And now we have the Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart, which is replicating the Joe Dart 1, the original Joe Dart bass. I've said Joe Dart so many times in this video already. So now let's go over the specs of the Sterling by Music Man limited edition Joe Dart signature bass. For the body, we have a Sterling shape, and this is a soft maple body. Easy to spread on toast or some nice crackers. Very delicious. And with that, we have a pretty sparse aesthetic here, just like the Joe Dart 1 with the USA Music Man series. We have a single ceramic humbucker here at the Music Man position, wired in series, and that is wired directly to a volume control. And that's all we have here, folks. No more government subsidies for active basses, or whatever they say. So this is a fun instrument for sure. And then we have an oversized knob, one of Johnny Dibble's favorite features here. Oh, I need to stop. I just really need to stop. For the bridge, we have the SUB style bridge. This is featured on the Ray 4 SUB as well. I've looked at this bridge before and I've replaced it. I've modified it. My favorite replacements for these are the all-bridge units, and we are going to be actually swapping this one out with a very special all-bridge unit, a LowEndLobster signature one, or it has my name on it. It's really adorable, and yeah, thanks Amp Shop Bass Exchange, I really appreciate it. But yeah, we're going to swap that out later, but this is just the regular SUB bridge. And for those looking to modify this, the middle 3 screws align with like a Fender style bridge, so you could swap something out there, but you would have the side screws still visible. That was a lot of chatter about a bridge. Let's move on to the strings, because that is one special feature here. These are the Music Man, Ernie Ball Music Man 2805 flat wounds. I think that's what they're called. Either way, they are a really nice set of flat wounds, normally about $40. So for a bass in this price category, and we'll talk about the price shortly, it is a very nice feature to have these out of the box. I have no intention of swapping these. They're great strings, they feel great, and they sound great. And we'll hear that a little bit later. Moving on to the neck, we have a 22 fret maple on maple neck with a 9.5-inch radius, 34-inch scale, and a 38mm nut width. Just like all other Sterling by Music Man basses, we have the truss rod wheel down here at the base of the neck, and this is a bolt-on instrument, as you can clearly see. And up at the headstock, we have a 3x1 tuner configuration, and the slightly smaller Sterling style headstock as opposed to the Stingray style, which is a bit bigger than this. We also have the signature label up at the headstock saying Sterling by Music Man, as well as Joe Dart, so everybody knows that this is a Joe Dart bass. And now let's take Joe Dart for a spinny with the little spinny thing here. Click. So as the space is spinning around, let's talk about what this particular instrument comes with. Nothing. As with most Sterling by Music Man instruments, especially under, was it $600 or whatever, you're really not going to get many accessories other than the regular truss rod adjustment device and the Allen wrench for the bridge with the bass. So outside of that, you're not getting a case, you're not getting anything like that. As we can see on the side profile here, this is a contoured instrument, very comfortable to play. This is the Sterling body, which is a bit smaller than what you get with the Stingray, so some may find this more comfortable. I definitely do. And we will actually have a separate video upcoming on the Sterling Classic, a mystical unicorn that I was able to acquire. Out back here we have a 5-screw neck attachment, typical of a Sterling, and a slightly contoured neck heel, so you have easy access for the upper frets. You also have a rather large control cavity here, given that this is a single volume control. So the modding potential is there if you want to do something fun, and there's definitely reversible stuff that you can do that will take advantage of that control cavity, like throwing in an active EMG pickup that will take a 9 or 18 volt setup and just keep the single volume control, or do a stack, or have some fun with it. I don't know. But all that's reversible, and you won't have to permanently mod this instrument if you don't want to. I'm going to keep this stock and definitely keep it around because I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah. And then moving up to the neck once again, this is a satin finish all the way around. It is a satin polyurethane, very smooth, really easy to play. I think it feels probably on par, if not maybe a little bit nicer than the Sterling by Music Man Ray 4 SUB and the Ray 24. And the fretwork in this is actually superb. I think they paid extra attention here because this is one of the limited edition instruments. And then up at the headstock, we have the open gear tuners that we can see here. It's just the typical, Sterling by Music Man tuners. Nothing wrong with them, they work well here. And yeah, good stuff. We can also see that this instrument is made in Indonesia, which most Sterling by Music Man basses are, except for the Ray 2, which is made in China. This feels much better in regards to quality than the Ray 2. However, this is definitely more expensive and now harder to find. And speaking of more expensive, how much does the Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart signature bass cost? These brand new are $399, so just about $400, including regular shipping. And that is a great price for a high quality, unique instrument here. That being said, they're no longer available as they were just a limited run, and they had pre-orders running in March of 2024. Around then, I forget what exactly the time frame. But if you didn't purchase one around that time, there was no chance that you could purchase one of these new, as it was just through that pre-order list, and that was it. I believe around 4,600 of these were sold, so they're not super rare, but they're pretty rare, and I think people are going to be holding on to these and unfortunately scalping them trying to make a buck. So you'll probably be seeing these listed for maybe 100 or 200 higher than what they were for a little bit, if not forever. Again, high quality instrument. I can't say that, they're not worth that price. I mean, it's a limited edition kind of niche instrument. It is what it is, but unfortunately, that's the case in regards to availability, and I do wish these were more available, but you could probably make your own. Now, let's talk about weight. What does our Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart signature bass weigh? This particular example comes in at 8.4 pounds, which is quite lightweight, especially considering that this is a maple on maple bass. It's all maple. You have your soft spreadable maple and your hard maple for the maple duo. Yay. But as we all know, weight really doesn't matter if the bass doesn't balance well. So let's see how our Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart signature bass balances. In the lap without a strap, we do get a little bit of neck dive just due to the offset body. It's nothing like you're fighting the neck. We don't have a heavy neck here, but it is just present, if you're just not holding the neck. It might get away from you if you're not careful. However, anchoring it with your forearm, it's fine. No problems. Putting on the strap. Putting on the strap. And with a strap on the lap, especially with a jean jacket that I have on right now, we have no balance issues. This is a lightweight instrument, very comfortable, and it balances very nicely. Standing up as well, balance is great. And now let's play our Sterling by Music Man and Joe Dart signature bass through our Ampeg Rocket. I believe it's the RB112 with the 12-inch speaker. I forget the wattage, it's like 50 watts. Great practice amp though. I love it. Not sponsored, I just have it here. It's good. So that is our Joe Dart signature Sterling by Music Man bass. As I mentioned earlier, we have a ceramic humbucker wired in series, so similar output levels to what you get on the Sterling by Music Man Ray 4, which is to say, quite spicy. You don't have the 2-band preamp accentuating that pickup, so I mean, this is just straight pickup. That being said, it is quite high output. Now, let's play some more. I had to. You just gotta. You just gotta. So yeah. So I have a little special surprise towards the end of this video. We have replaced one of the pedals, at least temporarily, and we have a little hint right here. Anyhow, let's move on to some pick playing, as we have a pick right here. And this Joe Dart 2 with some flat wounds that we have here should sound real nice with a pick. I don't like pick playing, but that's what the Joe Dart sounds like with a pick, both palm muted and not palm muted. Now let's hear what the Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart bass sounds like with a little bit of slappy slap. Yeah. Again, it is a spicy pickup, so you better watch your output levels or at least have a nice compressor like Joe Dart definitely utilizes in all his recordings. We actually have a little compressor right here, down here. So when we plug into our Trickfish, we are going to be utilizing some compression, and you will definitely note the difference in output and sound and just overall levelness, because this is quite a beastly bass, especially if you don't know how to tame it. So let's just play it a little bit more and then get to the Trickfish. Now let's go ahead and move over to our Trickfish, and again, note the difference in sound with the compressor. Yeah, so already you notice that with this compressor and the very hot pickup, we have a very even output. We have everything, good, nothing spiking, so I can really dig in. I can do that and not really overload my amp. I'm not overloading my recording equipment, whereas you definitely heard the peakiness of this bass just through my Ampeg by itself. So there is quite a difference there. But again, in all these recordings that you're hearing of like Wolfpack, Joe Dart is using a compressor. That definitely plays a factor in his tone, and you definitely hear it here. Let's have some fun with effects now. Let's start off with our special surprise here. We have temporarily at least replaced our big muff pedal with the Hello Kitty fuzz pedal from Fender. I purchased this myself. I'm not sponsored by Fender. They don't like me. Oh no. So yeah, I purchased this because it's adorable and I love it. So I'm gonna put a picture here because it needs a picture, and let's check it out. Woo, that's hot. So there you go. That was the Hello Kitty fuzz pedal from Fender. Okay, I'm just noodling at this point. Let's go ahead and move on to our Poly Blue MXR Octaver. And now let's move on to our Julia chorus. Apparently Julia does not like the high output of this bass, so let's just turn it down a little bit. Oh, we have fun. Let's go ahead and turn off the chorus and get a little bursty with our Cloudburst from Strymon. Ooh, kind of went off into space there. Let's move on and keep that on and turn on our microcosm. So here are my final thoughts on the Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart Signature Bass Limited Edition. It is quite the instrument for the $399 I paid for it. That being said, it is unfortunate that you just can't go order one online right now. I know a lot of folks are fans of Wolfpack and are also fans of the Joe Dart bass and the style, the natural finish, the single large knob, or even no knobs at all. I think it's a great instrument. It's a cool concept that's executed really well, especially in this particular model. I haven't played its US counterpart in regard to the Sterling-bodied single pickup model, and I'm not sure if I'll get the chance anytime soon, but they seem like interesting basses. That being said, over $2,000 is a bit steep of a price tag for a bass that really doesn't have any real controls, and I think this really gives you the same experience and gives you the same novelty aspect, but doesn't really break the bank for those not looking to spend that much money. So yeah, again, for the $399 I paid for it, I'm really happy with this instrument. It sets up very nicely. It stays put. I haven't really had to set it up multiple times. And we are in the midst of a seasonal change right now, so I have been setting up some of my instruments now, and this really hasn't budged that much. It plays great, it sounds great, it's set up well. The fretwork is quite exceptional given the price point. I have no issues with fretwork here, and these flat wounds are just killer. I'm usually into labellas a lot more than I am, Music Man flats or even D'Addario chromes, but these Ernie Ball 2805s are quite solid and they sound great. I really don't have any gripes with the Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart signature bass, other than its lack of availability. I know folks would like to see this bass more readily available and don't want to see this bass for sale at hundreds of dollars higher by scalpers, and that's kind of a bummer to introduce that aspect into the bass market. I mean, people are passionate about these instruments and they should encourage that passion by making these available, so that's kind of a shame there. That being said, if you do want the Joe Dart experience on a budget, but you won't get the natural finish, I would highly recommend the Sterling by Music Man Ray 2, as that is a passive option with a rear control cavity and has plenty of mod potential. I either will or do have a mod video out for that. I've already filmed half of it before. I'm probably going to film the other half after this, but that's neither here nor there. Those are really nice instruments as well, and are $250 brand new and are often on sale or even B stock for low $200, even high $100, $190-ish or so. So you can definitely get some deals there and get yourself an exceptional Stingray instrument that's passive for a really good price. I don't think you're going to see these basses on the market at a good price anytime soon, unless they do another batch or make them readily available. I really wish they would though, because again, great model, fun to play, great strings, and the pickup, I forgot to include this at the beginning, is a 4-conductor pickup. Here's a picture. Yeah, so this is a 4-conductor pickup. We could wire up a push-pull for series parallel and tame this pickup quite a bit. The parallel mode would probably suit this a bit better, as with series it is very spicy and requires a compressor. But yeah, there's mod potential here. There is also collectability here if you're into that. And overall, I just think this is a nice instrument. Let me know what you think about the Sterling by Music Man Joe Dart signature bass down in the comments below. But that will do it for this review. Thank you all for watching, and until we groove again.